Hello and welcome to the tutorial over Powtoon, how to use it, what you are going to be doing with it for this week's project. And if you stay tuned at the end, I'll be showing you the full length example that I have also posted out in Classroom along with your rubric. So you need to make sure you're reviewing the rubric and including all of the features necessary in order to get a passing grade. So Powtoon is a fun site to create some, as it says, engaging and awesome presentations or videos. You'll see at the end that there'll be some options. You can create it as a video, which is what we are going to do, or you could actually just create slides, much like PowerPoint or Google Slides or Prezi or something like that. So when you get to powtoon.com, okay, we are going to create an account. You'll say sign up. Once you push sign up, it's going to take you here and you're going to say continue with Google, as we always do. From here, you will sign in with your student account that ends in @gs.gckschools.com. And then it will take you to a login screen similar to this. You may, because I've been in this before, and I've closed out everything, but you may end up with some like tutorials or pop-ups come up. Just close out of those and get to this screen here. And so from here, you will be able to start your video. You can do this by selecting one of their pre-made templates, and I would actually just go to more templates to check this out. Okay, so you can look through some of their pre-made templates, and there are a lot out there. Please, please, please keep in mind, some of these are not free. So if they say pro on them, you cannot use them. It might actually let you start editing it, but then at the end it might ask for some money, and that is not what we are here for. So you need to make sure that you are looking for accounts that do not, or templates that do not have pro as an option, okay? You can go by category, okay? So maybe I want an explainer type video. You could go straight to education, check out some of those. Personal, checking out some of those. So it's really kind of up to you, and I would encourage you on some of these to actually preview what they have going so that you can decide. See, and it has some sound already ready and all that stuff. You can decide if that's what's going to be the best fit for you. Okay? There is an option to, let's see if I can get there. There is an option to just go with a blank template. I might actually have to go back to do that. Just go from a blank Powtoon, nothing there, nothing ready for you. That is okay too. It's up to you on what you want to do. Similar to when we did our Wix website, you may run into some issues where it's going to have more built into it than you actually want. However, templates are a nice place to start just because they have transitions and timings kind of set for you. So when you go into, so I'm just going to click a random one for right now. Say use. Once you hit use, the screen will load in. I paused it because my computer's been taking a little bit, so I didn't want you to have to sit here and watch it load. So anyway, you will see over here, right now in edit mode, all you're really doing is changing text. You're not really editing anything major. You'll want to first thing you'll want to do is switch to create mode. So you have full timeline control, messing with all of the settings, and then you get some extra settings over here. Okay? So, much like you would with any template, you can come in here and you would just double click if I wanted to edit the text to read something different. Let's say, excuse me, let's say I want to swap out the background. Okay, when I hit, you saw it where I hit swap, and then there's some backgrounds here that I could quickly replace it with. Again, it's going to possibly show in some pro or paid looks, so please pay attention to that before you select something and get really invested into it. So I'm going to replace it and say yes, cool, that's fine. Note the timing of things, okay? Wherever this triangle is, that is where if I were to hit play, it's going to pick up with playing your video. Okay. These items down here, this is our timeline bar. These items down here are the timing, 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, at which different elements are going to pop up and pop in, okay? So you'll want to make sure you pay attention to that, because if you put a new element in, sometimes it pops in right at the end, and then you would have to go back and adjust that. I'm going to, at this time, hop over to the example that I'm going to show you at the end of class, but it's just already kind of made, and there's a few things in there that I want to show you, okay? So over here is the example that I will show you at the end of class, or at the end of this presentation. As you can see, this element, so let me just go ahead and play this slide, and pay attention on the timeline specifically at when these items pop up. Okay, go to our next slide. You are going to be asked to tell me some very specific details, and some of those slides may require a lot of text, like this one. When I originally took this template and started modifying it, it didn't give me very much time. It might have only been 4 seconds on this slide. That is where you'll want to add or remove seconds to make sure there is enough time. I would definitely play with this, maybe show some peers, say, hey, make sure, did you have enough time to read this or not read this, so that you have the perfect amount of time and people aren't sitting there staring at the same slide for forever, but at the same time, they are being able to read the information without having to pause your video. Okay, so the template that I chose had these fun little shadowy characters in them, and it was all male-based, so of course I changed it to be female. And when I click on it, if I click swap, much like the background that I had just shown you, it's going to take me to that character's page. I would highly encourage you, no matter what theme you go with, to stick with the same family of characters. So I stuck with the Picto characters. I didn't switch back and forth between, work-life icons or infographic characters. I stuck with those Picto icons just to stay, again, with a consistent theme. Okay, so let's say instead of her waving, which I like, I might switch it to her presenting. Okay? And they do have some animated characters. And I'm going to swap that back. But that is where you are going to go to swap some of those characters in and out. Another thing, as we go through this, so there's some specific topics that you'll be talking about which are on the rubric. You'll need to describe the career, tell me what kind of education and training is required, tell me where you might like to live, a salary forecast, like what do they make, why are you qualified, and possible colleges that you might go to receive a degree in your specific career field. Okay, so I wanted to stick with a specific or a consistent theme, and so I built these first 2 slides. Okay, and then you'll see they kind of alternate. So what is a CTE teacher to how do I become one? Then I tell you how to become one. Then I say what the salary forecast is, and then I tell you what the salary forecast is. So those are 3 consistent sets of slides back to back to back. I didn't rebuild them every single time. All I simply did was after I built the first 2, I clicked on the 3 dots here and I said duplicate. That duplicated that slide, and then I moved it to wherever it needed to be. Okay? If you don't end up not needing a slide, you just hit the trash can. But the duplicate slides is very helpful because not only does it duplicate your content, it also saves your timeline. So again, you're not having to work as hard on this. So as you go through here, I don't know if there was any other big features I wanted to show you. Over here, you're going to see all of the different effects that you can add. So the different scenes would be your backgrounds. Then you've got your text, elements, again, paying attention to what's pro and what's not. You have different characters, you have props. Okay, this isn't all that's available. I have mine set to be an infographic look so that all of the characters, props, pictures all look similar. There are different options, 5 different options it looks like, for kind of sets of those things, those character props, themes, that sort of thing. So pay attention to that when you are setting it, and I would always stick with a consistent look. I have different shapes that I can add in, and I have animated shapes or basic shapes. Images, so when you get towards the bottom, when I ask you different colleges that you'd like to go to, this is where you'll want to put in a image or a picture of the logo of the school you want to go to. You can upload videos, and I actually played with that before this. It was really laggy, so I need to play with that a little bit more. You can add in some sound. If you wanted to add in some of your own music or voiceovers, you could. I stuck with a free sound, and that was changed right here. Entire Powtoon, Can't Stop the Happiness. I chose my volume level, and it's going to play throughout the whole presentation. And then there are more special effects. With everything, when you go to click on an icon or text or image or whatever, you can play with colors. You can play with, which way is she facing. Okay, and I actually like that. I might change that way. And then you can play with the settings. Okay, so you can change how it moves into your screen. That would be through the effects. Okay, so how does it enter? How does it exit? You could have it go from A to B. So if I chose that, I want her to move from here to here. I'm going off my screen a little bit. Looks good. Yep, looks good. So if I come over here, drag this over, and I hit play, she kind of walks across my screen. That's cool. So I might actually edit this even more and have her walk off my screen. Isn't that fun? Okay. So, again, I want to reiterate, there are more settings here. This is also where you might go to arrange it, so maybe I want it to arrange so that she walks behind the power cat. Let's see if that's what that does. Oh, nope, don't love that. Because what did that do? When it put it behind, there's a white box here, and that behind. So I'll have to go back and figure out where she went so I could fix that, okay? Maybe if I just said this, send it back, what that does. I'll play with that some more. So pay attention to the ordering of things as well. When it comes time, so you finished it, you crushed it out of the park, you need to make sure your presentation is longer than 1:45, but it cannot be any longer than, I believe, 5 minutes. After that, the program costs. So please try to keep it within the time constraints so that you don't do all this work and then have more than you are allowed to post, okay? So when it comes time for you to save this, you're going to click Save. Make sure you're saving often, just in case. I know it's supposed to save kind of as you go, but in the off chance we lose internet access or something like that. So like right now it's not saving, and that is a little scary, but that's okay. So preview and export. So once you hit preview and export, this is when you're going to get a chance to preview the video. So I'm actually going to play that now so you can see the full version of it. And if you want to skip ahead 2 minutes, that's fine. Okay, so there was my video. I am ready to export. I'm going to say export. When I get to this screen, I will need to click YouTube, and you will want to wait for instruction on how to set up your account to be a YouTube account, your GS account. I don't want you posting it to your personal YouTube account if you happen to have one. We're going to post these to our school-issued accounts. That way it just has that professional appeal and all is good there. So I will click YouTube. From here, I will say add an account. You will be adding in your GS account. However, I'm going to add in, this is the account that I post all of these tutorials to. Say allow. I want the privacy. You guys choose what you want to do here. I'm going to leave mine public, and I'll hit next. I just need to be able to find it. If you're going to do private, you need to make sure the settings are so that I can see it and your classmates can see it. Okay. Go in and make sure you name it something. I would stick with last name in your career project. If you are like some extra organization like me, I might go in and put MMD for multimedia design in there. And I'm going to say next after I choose a category. You don't have an option to hide their branding. I'm going to stick with the highest quality they allow for free and say upload Powtoon. It's going to take me to a page while it works to upload this Powtoon. They say they'll email you, but you don't get the email since the Gmail feature is turned off. You'll just have to go check your YouTube channel to see when it is uploaded. I would give it some time. Don't get too much in a hurry or freak out if it doesn't work out for you. Again, so I can't wait to see your presentations. Make sure you're following the rubric, getting everything in that I'm asking you to get in. And really, I think this would be a great project, and I can't wait to see it.